Hello everyone, I am Vishal, a fourth year PhD student in human centered computing at Georgia Tech. I present this paper, Romancing the Algorithm, Navigating Constantly, Frequently, and Silently Changing Algorithms for Digital Work, co authored with Kirsten Bray, Neha Kumar, and Grinter. CSCW as a field has emerged with a focus on workers performing collaborative work mediated through digital technologies. Since then, the field has broadened to include other workers, with a more recent focus on self employed workers, such as content creators. We focus on romance novelists as a group of workers who adapted to a changing set of practices facilitated by the rise of online platforms. With increased digitalization, novelists migrated from traditional publishing, where a publishing house supports authors with novel production, marketing, and sales, to self publishing in ways that are often mediated through digital technologies. As novelists move to self publishing online, their interactions with online algorithmic systems increased. For example, they use social media such as Facebook for marketing their novels and retail platforms such as Amazon for publishing and selling their novels. While online platforms offered some flexibility and instantaneous feedback, they could be precarious, biased, and even difficult to navigate. Our study asks, what challenges do romance novelists face while interacting with algorithms that are in continuous flux? How do they navigate these challenges? Our work engages with the CSCW and HCI scholarship on algorithmic awareness, algorithmic literacy, and folk theories. Situating our work in these diverse forms of scholarships, we examine novelists' algorithmic literacy by investigating the folk theories they formulate to interpret the inner workings of algorithms. We first conducted surveys asking novelists about their experiences with the novel production process. To gain a deeper understanding, we conducted interviews. We received 127 responses to the survey. 47 agreed to be interviewed. We conducted 15 interviews. Although our survey respondents included novelists from different countries such as India and Japan, for this study we limited participant recruitment to the US and Canada. The study was conducted during the COVID-19 pandemic imposed quarantine and physical distancing. Therefore, all the interviews were held virtually. We group our findings into three themes: demonstrating the algorithms embedded in digital platforms influence romance novelist ability to be successful. Participants explained how they pieced together their digital publishing and marketing experiences to comprehend algorithms by forming folk theories. Some participants had a basic understanding of the algorithms they encountered in their work. These interviewees worked as IT professionals before becoming full-time novelists or were still working in IT at the time of the study while writing novels on the side. They attempted to comprehend algorithms by passively observing the platforms or actively changing their online practices to analyze how algorithms react. Interviewees who lacked technical expertise sought assistance from family members or friends working in the IT industry to understand algorithms. While interviewees formed some fundamental folk theories, the precarious nature of algorithmic systems hindered them from developing a more comprehensive understanding of algorithms, adversely impacting their ability to be successful online. Participants formulated folk theories to make sense of the opaque and precarious algorithmic systems. As the novelists made sense of algorithms, they took it upon themselves to share their theories with the broader community to raise the algorithmic literacy of other novelists. Some novelists shared folk theories by conducting classes, writing books, and creating blogs, while others posted on social media. Through this sharing, novelists formed a collective understanding of algorithms. Novelists use the folk theories formulated both individually and collectively to work with and around algorithms, leveraging some algorithms and manipulating others to gain new readers, maintain a sustained connection with existing readers, and calculate sales generated through advertising on social media. For example, interviewees reported their folk theories of a lost leader, which is usually the first book in a series that a novelist makes freely available to attract more readers. Once a reader reads their free book, they might want to read the other books as well. Readers who enjoy the free novel usually read and pay for other novels. As a result, a novelist ends up making more sale on the rest of their novels. Moving on, moving on to discussing some takeaways. Novelists repeatedly mentioned how the algorithms changed online. They made sure that they had a digital presence across different platforms if some platforms disappeared. These frequent and sudden changes of algorithms online mirrored the precarious nature of technical firms, driven by repeated disruption and siren calls to move fast and break things, rooted in wider and deeper flawed manifestations of platform capitalism. When designing for algorithmic literacy, designers might attend to various ways organizational practices and cultures become embedded in algorithms. Novelist algorithmic awareness was driven by a greater necessity of making sales and generating revenue. This incentive might not exist when users use platforms for regular non-economic purposes. The design of algorithmic systems for digital work could consider workers' purposes behind using the systems. This understanding could help us create systems with proper feedback mechanisms, such as specifying why a post shared was flagged or removed, or why a certain post was recommended, to assist digital workers in nurturing their algorithmic literacy. Romance novelists who understood how online platforms and their algorithms work shared their algorithmic knowledge with other novelists through conducting classes, writing books, creating blogs, and posting on social media. The novelists gave back to their community and learned from each other, and in the process formed collective algorithmic literacy. Such social constructions offer opportunities to understand how collective algorithmic literacy supports digitally mediated professions. This understanding could help us to design socio-technical systems, assisting digitally mediated collective knowledge making and knowledge transfer. For example, we could design systems that act as a dashboard or repository of information shared on various mediums. For example, classes, writing books, creating blogs, and social media among digital workers to help conduct digital work successfully. As participants navigated online platforms, they experienced seams that hindered their work. For example, participants had no way of determining if the advertisements on social media resulted in sales through online retail platforms. Platforms such as Facebook and Amazon did not provide cross-platform functionality. That is, the two platforms did not communicate, allowing users to transfer details from one to another. To address the problem, participants formulated workarounds, such as maintaining a spreadsheet, comparing advertising cost and revenue generated. These ideas illustrate an opportunity to design systems that could support cross-platform communication and integration. We may design an application to help digital workers track the money they spent on advertising across social media platforms and the profit their sales generate on online retail platforms. We invite you to read our paper, where we present our arguments in much more detail.